Alright, so today I'm going to be giving you guys 5 tips that every beginner should know. Now, even if you aren't a beginner, you want to watch this video because I'm going to give you guys the best tips on how to just improve your game. These are really just simple tips. They're not anything too crazy, and I think it's just really easy tips that you could easily know. So this is just a video to kind of help you guys get better at the game. And I'm also going to be showing you guys some things that you probably don't know. And by knowing it, you guys will get a lot better. But yeah, just keep watching this video to kind of know what I'm talking about. So I don't want to make this intro too long, so I'm gonna just get straight into it. All right, so a really good tip that I have for you guys is to change your enemy highlight color. So what you guys have to do is go to your settings and then go to general, and then you guys should see the setting right here called enemy highlight color. Now, if you guys are just playing the game, you guys should have red, which is the default color. And as you guys can see, this is pretty much going to outline the enemy color. So if you barely started playing the game, yours should be red, which red isn't a bad color. But in my opinion, I think yellow is the best color that you could actually use. I think yellow just pops out a little more. And it's also just more noticeable because there's really not that much yellow color in game. So if your enemy color is yellow, then it could definitely stand out. So by changing this one setting, I think this setting could definitely help you. So if I were you, I would probably change to yellow. I know a lot of people that use yellow. I think Tens uses yellow. But yeah, if you don't have that setting change it right now and change it to yellow. I know it has another color like purple, which purple isn't bad. So yeah, by changing the enemy highlight color to yellow, it's a really good tip for the beginners. So change it if you haven't. So another tip that I have for you guys is to practice your guys' aim. Having good aim in this game is actually very important. Like, you want to have the best aim possible, and I actually made a whole separate video on how to get better aim. So if you haven't watched that, watch that right now. Yeah, this is a really good tip because you really want to have good aim and you want to hit your guys' shots. Now, a good way to quickly just practice your aim is just by going to the practice mode here, and you want to click F3. Now, speed, you guys could change this to easy, medium, or hard. But the thing that I recommend putting is the strafe thing, just because the boss move around, so you could practice on hitting your shots while they're moving around. You could even put it to hard. Like, if you put it to hard, it's a lot more tricky. But if you keep practicing on hard, you're going to see a lot of improvement in your aim. You could even go to aim labs, or you could even just keep playing the game, but you always want to have good aim. So if you don't practice your aim, make sure you practice it. Alright, so the next tip that I have for you guys is to find the best crosshair for you. So there's a lot of different crosshairs that you guys could use, which I made another whole separate video on how to find the best crosshair for you. But there is this one website, which I'm gonna leave it in the link, and you could just go on there and just find the best crosshair, and you just have to use it and just kind of make it your crosshair and just keep playing with it and get used to it. But something that's more important than the crosshair is finding the best crosshair placement, or just working on the best crosshair placement. You always want to have good crosshair placement, and this is something that even I had to work on when I barely started playing the game. Like, something that I see a lot of people doing, and even I did this, is having bad crosshair placement. Like, I always used to just walk around the map having my crosshair in the floor for some reason. I don't know why I did this, and this is just a really bad habit that I had. But I see a lot of people doing this, so I quickly want to just, share this with you guys and just have good crosshair placement. And don't do this. Like, don't be walking around and having your crosshair kind of in the floor, because this is a really bad habit that you could have. So you definitely want to work on your crosshair placement. So I'm gonna show you guys what good crosshair placement is. And good crosshair placement is to have your crosshair in the center of your screen. Now, the reason why you want to have good crosshair placement and why you want to have your crosshair in the center of the screen, like you guys can see me right now, I think this right here is good crosshair placement. Because if you're walking around and let's just say someone just randomly comes out, as soon as you see them and you point the gun at their head, you don't need to move your mouse. All you have to do is just use A and D. So for example, if you're strafing, say you move around, you shoot them, and then the crosshair's already going to be at their head. So you don't have to move your mouse. You don't have to shake while you're trying to aim. All you have to do is just move, shoot them, and they should pretty much die. So yeah, that's pretty much all it is to have really good crosshair placement. It pretty much just is to kind of have your crosshair in the center of the screen. But the reason why you want to have this is because if your crosshair is in the center of the screen, your opponent's heads is also going to be in the middle. So it's just really easy to kind of get some headshots on them, and it's just a lot easier to kill them. So try to work on your crosshair placement. But that doesn't mean that you have to keep your crosshair in the center of the screen at all times. Like, there's definitely some times where you might have to move it, but if you're walking around and you're looking for the best angles, you want to have it in the center of the screen. And you guys should see a lot more headshots and just a lot more kills once you have it. Alright, so I think this is the 4th tip that I have for you guys, and this tip right here is also very important. And that is basically finding the right agent for you. Now, everyone has different play styles, everyone plays the game differently, and some people like different agents than others. So you definitely want to look at all the agents on Valorant and you want to find the best one for you. Now, I know there's a lot of videos out there that kind of just show every single agent, which this video is not going to be one of those videos. I'm going to just quickly give you guys a quick good breakdown, so you guys could just go right here and you guys could just read the description of every agent and every ability that they have, and you guys could kind of just see what you guys like and what you guys don't like. But something that you guys will notice in Valorant is that there are something called like initiators, controller, duelist, sentinels. But yeah, some are different and some can actually be the same. All right, so the fifth tip that I have for you guys, this tip right here is really easy, really simple, and I think anyone could really understand this one, and that is just by looking at the mini map. So in the top left of your screen, you're going to be seeing this mini map, and there's actually a lot of people that don't even look at it, but I actually recommend looking at your mini map just because it could actually tell you a lot of things that's going on while you're playing at that round. So for example, it could actually show you where the opponents are, and it can also show if they use any abilities. So it's actually really good to kind of find out where the opponents are, just in case you don't have any teammates that are talking to you and if they're not telling you where they're at. So if you're playing by yourself or even with friends, look at the mini map, because the mini map is actually really helpful. It's really good, and it's just a really easy tip to understand. So if you don't look at the mini map, look at the mini map. Trust me, it's gonna help you, and it might even save you sometimes. All right, so the last tip that I'm gonna give you guys, I know I said 5 tips, but I'm gonna just give you guys this one quick tip just because it's really important, and this is definitely a tip that I want you guys to know. And this tip right here is basically having mechanical skills. Now basically what this means is you want to practice your peeking. You also want to practice your pre-aiming angles. You want to work on your tracing angles, and you want to have good movement in the game. So I'm basically going to tell you guys what peeking is. So peeking in Valorant is one of the most important parts of the game and is a fundamental mechanic that will allow players to die less and kill more. Because the time to kill in Valorant is so low, being able to efficiently peek is crucial to winning gunfights and ultimately dominating the game. So I'm gonna quickly show you guys the fundamental mechanics of peeking. There's a lot of peeker's advantage. So the peeker's advantage is the advantage that the peeker has against someone that is holding an angle. Now, although this advantage is more noticeable when the peeker is on a much higher ping, this doesn't mean that having a low ping is bad. Low ping is better for virtually everything else in the game. The next thing, I'm gonna show you guys pre-aiming angles. So basically, when peeking a common angle, always pre-aim the angle through the wall. This allows you to make minimal crosshair adjustments when you peek, as the only adjustments you will ever have to make is if they're playing off the common angle. Having good crosshair placement will allow you to pre-aim much better, and that's kind of why I said earlier to make sure you guys have good crosshair placement, and also tracing angles. So basically, because players aren't able to jiggle peek and pre-aim every single angle in the game, because of the amount of time it would take to clear angles, it's important to learn how to trace peek angles. Trace peeking is when you place your crosshair at head level alongside the walls at the corners of the map. This is also if the enemies are playing at the angle, there are fewer mouse movements that you have to make. If enemies aren't there, then you move to the next wall of the corner you are exposed to. Now, tracing angles may be a little bit confusing and it may be a lot harder to understand, but trust me, just watch different other separate videos. I might even make my own. Just search up how to get better angles and how to just get better movement and better peeking. But quickly, I'm gonna show you guys basically the movement when peeking an angle. So I even said this earlier. Basically, whenever you're peeking, only use your A and D key. Never use a W key in a combination with A and D. When you do this, you move slower than just using your A and D key, making you an easier target to hit. Basically, when you are executing your peek, you never want to touch the walk key. This is because when you run for short distances, you are still silent. If you do walk, you do make yourself an easier target to hit. Like, there's even something called positioning. So basically, positioning when peeking an angle, always take fight from far as away as possible. This is because of how angle advantages work when you're closer to an angle. Basically, I'm not going to explain too much on what that is because I'm going to close out this video right here. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you guys get notified whenever I upload. Hopefully these tips did help you guys out, and hopefully you guys learned something. If you guys did learn something, comment that down below. Now, if you guys also have some other tips for beginners, feel free to comment that in the comment section so you guys can help other people that are, getting new to the game. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have. I will see you guys in the next one.